So this Patreon request comes from Captain Omni, and this one is this one's a fun crossover because one, it gets me to talk about something of Texas Chainsaw that doesn't suck, and it also allows me to talk about something that it basically allows me to talk about a basically a media that I haven't really talked about that I really enjoy, which is Kolchak the Nightstalker, which I am even by my standards, I am way too young to know that, because it was a show in the 90s. It was like Supernatural before Supernatural, or X-Files before X-Files, where it focused around this guy named Carl Kolchak, who was a reporter who would find himself running into these supernatural occurrences, like an immortal Jack the Ripper, or a vampire, or like a werewolf on a cruise ship, or stuff like that. So yeah, so Captain Omni asked me to do in a way to save my sanity after watching that god awful Texas Chainsaw movie. He asked me to do a crossover between Kolchak and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which roughly did appear in the same year. Like, they both showed up in the same year, like roughly the same timeline. They both appeared. I think Kolchak was 75, so it's roughly the same time. So this story is basically set right after the first movie, and Carl is in New York. He's writing up another story, and he hears news reports from Texas about this cannibal family that, reported cannibal family, and he hears about it. He's like, that's a cool story. And also he inadvertently gets sent there because he kind of pissed off his editor for the last time about doing another puff piece about monsters. So he's like, you know what, Carl, you're gonna go see real monsters. I'm sending you to Poth, Texas to investigate this. You wanna talk about monsters? There you go. So Carl is shipped down to Texas, and he immediately regrets it because he's like, holy crap. Because he's like, it's November and it's like over 80 degrees. He's not used to like real southern weather, especially Texas weather. So he's already like cooking as it is. So he goes around, it's muggy, it's awful, and he's looking for Sally Harvestine, and he's trying to get reports on like this cannibal family because no one really knows what. Like, the thing is that Sally did survive a horrible incident, but she was so mentally broken that she couldn't even form like proper words. Like, that's the thing, is that they found her covered in blood and whatnot, but like she was so snapped, and she couldn't even form words. They're like, we don't know if she got into a car wreck or like if she even the driver of the truck she jumped into is like, yeah, we saw this weird shit, but we didn't get like a proper look at it, so I don't know what to tell you. Like, they saw, a guy running around with a chainsaw, but like they didn't see where he came from, they don't know where he is, and Sally's so mentally gone she can't form words. So Carl finally, while he's looking around, he ends up at a certain gas station because his rental car is kind of low on gas, and he's like, fill her up. And he also get like, man, I'm hungry. Those ribs look really good. So he's eating, and he encounters Drayton there, and he's talking to Drayton, and he's talking to him. He's like, hey, so I heard about this Sally girl, around here. She claims that there was she in some kind of rant. She talked about a guy with a leather face and a chainsaw. Do you know anything about that? And Drayton's like, oh no, that's crazy talk. Like, we have some crazy folks around here. How you hungry? How about some of my barbecue? some of my chili. And he's like, yeah, I go for chili. And Carl eats it. He's like, man, this is really good. Like, this is Carl's eating that late night, and like he's eating, and then he like bites on something like hard. He's like, man, I guess the guy didn't get the bones off. He picks it out, and it's a finger bone. And he's like, oh god. And he starts puking his guts out because he's like, oh shit, I just ate people, and I know what a Wendigo, and I know what a Wendigo is. Oh my god, am I gonna become a Wendigo now? But thankfully he remembers, oh right, that only happens if you're in the north, so I think I'm good, but still, I ate a person. Oh my god, that's awful. And like, what's even worse is that the person he ate was Franklin, because he digs a little more into the chili, and it's like you find a piece of Franklin's clothes in there, and he's like, Oh god. So now Carl is convinced that Drayton is connected to this family from Sally's rambles, and what happens is that he tracks down Drayton's like home, like he follows Drayton all the way back to his house. Unfortunately, Drayton ain't an idiot, and who like he fails to notice someone come up behind him. That someone was Chop Top, and yeah, Chop Top whacks him over the head, knocks him out, and Carl gets tied down and held down by the family, who are like, so like they're all happy and they're all excited, and that's when Carl encounters Leatherface for the first time, and they're like, "Yep, old Tommy old Jed gonna teach you a lesson," and he's revving up the chainsaw. Carl he flips the chair over to the side and it cuts the ropes as the chainsaw is going down. Carl breaks out, and he's like, the thing is that Carl, even though he's just a news reporter, has a lot of experience fighting like monsters. So a guy with a chainsaw and a cannibal family, while he's kind of said like, yeah, I've encountered cannibals before, so this is nothing new, but why me? So Carl like has to like get out of the house because they dragged it. Like, he's not like smashing through a window because they learned the first time, so they put like they put bars on the windows after what happened to Sally. They're like, yeah, we ain't letting someone jump out the window again. And now Carl has to like do like a a Resident Evil Biohazard escape from the house, where he has to like climb through the house or like climb through all these little rooms and whatnot as he's trying to escape like Chop Top and Drayton and Leatherface, until he finally breaks out and gets out. And he gets back to his car, he writes the story, and no one believes him. Like, he even tells the cops, yeah, this shit, like, yeah, there's some crazy shit out there. What are you guys gonna do about it? And he's like, yeah, don't worry, we'll figure it out. And it turns out, yeah, that's got the sheriff is like an extended member of the Sawyer family. So yeah, nothing comes of it really. As with most I wanted to finish this like a typical Kolchak story. So there you go, guys. A quick little Carl Kolchak Texas Chainsaw Massacre crossover. I thought this was pretty fun, and Captain Omni gave me a pretty awesome crossover to work with. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this crossover? Did you guys like it? Hate it? What would you do with it? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's any Nightstalker fans out there, so this will be pretty fun. Anyway, as always, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below and join my Patreon over on that end, where you guys can, not only ask for requests for videos for me to do here on YouTube, but you guys can also check out the exclusive content over there. I'm gonna hopefully have some new videos coming out soon, so be prepared for that. Anyway, other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.